In the shadows of America's roaring 20s, amidst the clamor of jazz and the illicit haze of speakeasies, rose a figure so notorious that his name would become synonymous with organized crime: Al Capone. His empire, built on the precarious foundations of Prohibition's defiance, not only challenged the law, but also etched a legend into the bedrock of American folklore. The rise of Scarface, Al Capone's early years. Born into the gritty life of Brooklyn, New York, on January 17, 1899, Al Capone's journey started in a bustling Italian immigrant neighborhood, where his parents, Gabriele and Teresina Capone, sought a new beginning in America. This vibrant, challenging environment shaped young Alphonse from an early age. Promising but rebellious, his academic journey was cut short at the age of 14, when he was expelled for striking a teacher, a pivotal event that veered his path toward the underworld rather than the schoolyard. Capone's charisma and street savvy soon drew him into the orbit of small-time gangs that roamed the streets of New York. It wasn't long before he engaged in typical gang activities of the era, such as vandalism and petty theft. His sharp intellect and magnetic personality caught the eye of Johnny Torrio, a prominent figure in the organized crime scene. Torrio recognized Capone's potential and took him under his wing, setting the stage for Al's future as a formidable mob boss. Under Torrio's mentorship, Capone would learn the intricacies of running a criminal empire, from bootlegging to bribery. This early phase of Capone's life was crucial, laying the foundational skills and contacts that would propel him into the annals of criminal history. As he transitioned from a roughneck street kid to Torrio's protege, the stage was set for his ascent in Chicago's criminal hierarchy, where he would eventually command the infamous Chicago outfit and become one of the most notorious gangsters in American history. Prohibition and power: Capone's reign in Chicago. The 1920s, marked by the Prohibition Era, provided a golden opportunity for Al Capone. With the nationwide ban on alcohol production and sales, the landscape was ripe for those willing to operate on the wrong side of the law. Under the guidance of Johnny Torrio, Capone moved to Chicago in 1920, rapidly rising through the ranks to head the notorious Chicago outfit. By the mid-1920s, he had seized control of the lucrative bootlegging business, smuggling illegal liquor into Chicago and supplying hundreds of speakeasies, which became the heartbeat of the city's nightlife. Capone's empire extended far beyond alcohol. His operations sprawled into gambling dens, brothels, and racketeering networks. His approach to running his criminal enterprises was both innovative and ruthless. Capone was a master of maintaining loyalty through a blend of charisma and fear, crafting a reputation that ensured strict adherence from his subordinates and brutal consequences for those who dared cross him. One of the most notorious events under Capone's command was the St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Valentine's Day Massacre in 1929. On that fateful day, 7 members of a rival gang were lined up against a wall and gunned down in cold blood, an act that cemented Capone's reputation as one of the most formidable and feared figures in American criminal history. This brutal orchestration of violence signaled his dominance over the Chicago underworld and highlighted the bloody lengths he was willing to go to in order to retain power and control. Through his strategic acumen and sheer force, Capone not only dominated the illegal activities of his era, but also left an indelible mark on American history, becoming a symbol of the dark side of the American dream. His story is a stark reminder of the power vacuum that Prohibition created and the complex interplay of law enforcement and organized crime during one of America's most tumultuous periods, the downfall of a gangster. Despite his immense power and influence, Al Capone's empire was not impervious to the long arm of the law. In a strategic move that showcased their ingenuity, federal authorities decided against pursuing Capone for his numerous violent crimes or bootlegging operations. Instead, they targeted an area where they could incontrovertibly prove wrongdoing: his finances. In 1931, Capone was tried and convicted on charges of tax evasion. This legal strategy led to a surprising 11-year sentence for the notorious gangster, marking the beginning of the end of his criminal reign. Capone served most of his sentence at the infamous Alcatraz prison, a facility known for housing America's most dangerous felons. During his incarceration, Capone's health began to deteriorate rapidly due to advanced syphilis, a disease he had contracted years earlier but had remained largely untreated. The effects of neurosyphilis, progressive psychological and neurological deterioration were profound, robbing him of his mental acuity and physical health. Recognizing his dire condition, authorities released him on humanitarian grounds in 1939, significantly before his sentence was up. Once released, Capone was merely a shadow of his former formidable self. Reports indicated his cognitive abilities had regressed to those of a 12-year-old due to the ravages of neurosyphilis. He retired to his mansion in Palm Island, Florida, where he lived out his final years far from the public eye. The contrast between his flamboyant lifestyle at the height of his power and his secluded, quiet end was stark. Capone's life came to a quiet close when he succumbed to cardiac arrest on January 25, 1947, at the relatively young age of 48. America's most infamous gangsters not only underscores the inevitable consequences of a life of crime, but also highlights the relentless pursuit of justice by the U.S. government. Capone's story is a vivid illustration of how even the most powerful figures can be brought down by their own actions and sometimes by their human frailties. Legacy of a mob boss. Al Capone, one of the most infamous figures in American history, epitomizes the quintessential anti-hero archetype that has captivated the public's imagination for decades. His life, marked by both extreme power and dramatic downfall, reads like a script from a Hollywood crime drama, replete with ambition, ruthlessness, and a complex moral compass. Capone's influence extends far beyond the annals of crime. He has become a cultural icon, frequently portrayed in films, literature, and other forms of media that reflect society's enduring fascination with his character and the Prohibition era he helped define. Capone's portrayal in popular culture has often blurred the lines between reality and fiction, illustrating the transformation of a real-life figure into a legend. Movies like The Untouchables and characters in shows such as Boardwalk Empire demonstrate how Capone's persona has been romanticized and mythologized over time. These depictions contribute to a narrative that oscillates between vilification and glorification, positioning Capone as both a cold-hearted criminal and a charming rogue who rose to power during a tumultuous period of American history. Moreover, Capone's legacy prompts a deeper examination of the American justice system and the social conditions that allow organized crime to flourish. His life raises critical questions about corruption, the efficacy of law enforcement, and the socio-economic factors that drive individuals toward a life of crime. The public's enduring interest in Capone also reflects a fascination with the concept of the American dream gone awry, where ambition and the pursuit of power can lead to both spectacular success and spectacular downfall. This complex legacy ensures that Al Capone's story remains a topic of discussion and analysis, influencing contemporary discussions about crime and punishment, and serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the inevitable consequences of a life built on criminal enterprises. His story continues to resonate, reminding us of the thin line between heroism and villainy and the enduring allure of America's darker historical figures. If you enjoyed unraveling the legend of Al Capone with us, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for more fascinating videos from history. Share your thoughts in the comments below.